Okay, let's just jump right in. What if everything you've ever been told about getting rich is, well, completely wrong? Today, we're going to dive into this idea of real wealth. It's a concept that argues our obsession with money, it might actually be making us poorer in the ways that really count.
Okay, think about this for a second. Money without meaning is poverty in disguise. Wow, that's a pretty bold statement, right? But it's the core idea we're looking at today. It's this thought that you can have a full bank account but still feel totally empty inside. So it begs the question, what are we actually chasing when we chase after all that cash?
All right, so let's unpack that. This idea of poverty in disguise. You know that feeling, that nagging sense that even when you've checked all the boxes, the nice car, the big house, everything society tells you to want, something vital is still missing. That's what we're talking about. It feels like we're all stuck on this treadmill, right? Just chasing more money, more stuff, a higher status. But what's the real cost of that race? So often, it's this deep feeling of emptiness, this nonstop pressure, and yeah, a lot of the time, crippling debt. The source material has a perfect name for this: financial pressure decorated as prosperity. I mean, what a perfect way to put it. It looks shiny on the outside, but it's really just a trap. So, this next thought, this is the real game changer. What if wealth wasn't something you have, but something you are? Just let that sink in. It completely flips the script, doesn't it? Suddenly, the focus isn't on collecting more stuff on the outside, but on building who you are on the inside. It's a totally different way to look at being rich. Okay, so what's the alternative then? Look, this isn't about saying money is bad or you shouldn't have it. Not at all. It's about redefining what wealth even is. It's about moving from this kind of shallow focus on possessions to something much deeper. A more complete, holistic way of being. And that brings us to the new definition. Real wealth is the ability to create value. See, it's an action, not a possession. It's this powerful mix of what you know, who you know, and the legacy you're building. It means you become a source of value, not just a place where it piles up. And real wealth isn't just a simple idea. It has all these different layers. Think of it like this. You've got intellectual wealth. That's what you know. Then there's relational wealth. That's who you know and, more importantly, who you trust. You've got your emotional and spiritual wealth, your inner compass, your stability. And finally, legacy wealth, the mark you leave on the world. See, money is just one tiny slice of a much, much bigger pie. All right, so this sounds great, but how do you actually build it? Well, the whole framework is broken down into 3 foundational pillars. They're called the currencies that last. And that's because, unlike money, these things don't lose their value. In fact, they usually grow over time. So pillar number 1 is knowledge, the currency of the mind. The core idea here is simple. Money follows understanding. Your brain is your single greatest asset for generating wealth. When you invest in learning, you're basically training yourself to spot opportunities and create value where other people just see nothing. In today's world, you could say wisdom really is the new gold. Okay, next up, relationships, the currency of connection. I mean, think about it. Nobody becomes truly successful all by themselves. It just doesn't happen. Those strong connections, that trust you build with people, that's what creates social capital. And that kind of wealth, it opens doors, gives you support, and creates opportunities that you literally cannot buy with money. At the end of the day, people are wealth. And the third and final pillar is character, the currency of trust. Honestly, this is the glue that holds everything else together. Your integrity, that's the real currency of trust. Without it, everything else you build is basically on a foundation of sand. A strong character protects all your other wealth because it makes you the kind of person people want to believe in, invest in, and follow. So all of this, it brings us to the big why. Why go through all this trouble? Because the ultimate goal of building real wealth isn't just about what you can get for yourself. It's about making a huge shift from a life of just being successful to a life of true significance. And here's that fundamental shift. A successful person asks, what can I gain? But a significant person asks a much more powerful question, what can I give? That right there, that's the jump from just accumulating stuff to actually contributing something. And that's where you find the real lasting meaning in wealth. Which leads us perfectly to the final piece of this puzzle, your legacy. Because really, the ultimate expression of real wealth is creating value that doesn't just stop with you. It's about building something that keeps growing and helping people long after you're gone. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it?
The most powerful inheritance you can leave is not what's in your will, but what's in your words, deeds, and example. Your real legacy isn't the number in your bank account when you die. It's the wisdom you shared, the example you set, the way you impacted people's lives. That is the only inheritance that actually lasts.
So we're going to end with the one question this whole idea is built around. It forces you to reframe your entire life's mission, shifting the focus from how much did you make to how much did you matter. It's a really powerful question to leave you with. How are you building a life that truly, deeply matters?